Hey guys, it's Names Beans and welcome to the first ever video on this channel. Whoa, so excited. I've been waiting to make this video for ages. You have no idea because I am a triggered hormonal teenager. Yes, that's correct. So I should probably give you a little thingy on who I am. So I'm Nina. I'm 17, I love cats, I'm probably sexually frustrated, and yeah, I'm triggered by a lot of things because I'm in high school and that's just life. Firstly, a disclaimer, I'm as brown as my piece of poop right now, and that is because I had a spray tan for a formal. So if you see this part which is coming off, I'm so sorry, just ignore it. Just, I don't know, a 5 o'clock shadow, whatever you want to call it, that's it. You enjoy it, you embrace it. I'm not putting makeup on my face for this video, I'm just very triggered. So, to the story, shall we? This story time is about the time I made a teacher cry. And I'm really proud of it. I flaunt it to people because I'm just respect. So, where do I begin? There's a TAS department in my school, and it has really great teachers. I love all the teachers in it, except for now one teacher, but they're all generally really nice people. And I was doing food tech and textiles last year, so that's eating for my fat ass and sewing, so I can be a grandma one day and sew things for my grandchildren, because life goals, and I'm already planning my life ahead, even though you can't plan your life. Anyway, back to the story. I had the same teacher for my textiles and my food tech, and I was okay, she seems really nice. All I've heard is positive things from her past classes. So I was this is cool, we're gonna be good. Last year was a pretty crappy year for me, so there were a couple of days when I wasn't at school. And I hadn't been at school for a while, and because I had this teacher for 2 of my subjects, she obviously noticed. I went to school one day and I had food tech, and I love food tech because it's food, and if you don't love eating, I don't know, because what have I done all day today is eat. I found gummy bears and I ate them. I found crackers and I ate them. Anyway, back to the story, Nina. So I walked in and all my friends Nina's here. I was guys, I'm back, bitches, come at me. I'm ready for anything that you throw at me, just come at me. My teacher came up to goes, Nina, it's no excuse that you have been away for a couple of days. Where is your stuff? And I looked at her and I was what do you mean, what stuff? She goes, we're making cookies today. And I was oh yeah, lit cookies, hit me up. She goes, well, you didn't bring anything, so you can't make anything. Just remember, Nina wasn't at school for a reason, so I'm obviously already triggered at this point. I was bitch, I'm on edge, could you be a bit nicer to me? Anyway, she was everyone's in pairs and partners and you can't go with your friends, you're gonna go alone. So me, just wanting to go have a good time with my friends, come back from a sad time, wants just chill, and I'm now told that I have to work alone. So I was excuse you, that's a bit rude, get me started. Anyway, she goes really triggered, pulls out ingredients, gives them to me and goes, go make these. So I was okay, cookies. They look like sugar cookies, and she gave me blueberries. So I'm yeah, nice, vegan blueberry cookies. So I was already triggered making them by myself, and then I was can I please have a hairnet, because you want this hair in your cookie, please, that's disgusting. Only I eat my hair, no one else needs to. So she got really pissed off. She's go find your own hairnet, blah blah blah, and you came in late, you didn't bring your stuff, blah blah blah. So of course I was already on edge, just started crying. I was I had enough, girl, can you please shut up? So I was crying, and my friend's Nina, it's okay, and she's oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I was bitch, you look like you care, okay? Wow. Anyway, that was the first time she'd ever made me cry, so I was already here is a bad foot. And I've started to hate you now because I'm losing respect gradually. One thing you should know about me is that I treat people with the utmost respect. Until they stop respecting me, then I lose respect for them. And I think it's only fair. Treat others how you would like to be treated. But if they're going to treat you like poop, why should you waste your time and your breath on them trying to be nice and impressing them, That's just me. You don't have to follow me. I'm weird. So from then on, my friends are all oh, maybe she was having a bad day, the teacher, don't worry too much about it. I was okay. Anyway, a couple of days later, I had textiles with her, so we were sewing little booties that day. I was having an off day. Like I said, it was an off year, so having an off day for me just wasn't like good. I think I was on my period too, which definitely adds. Like, me on my period is hormonal, sexually frustrated Nina, and that's like, who doesn't want hormonal, sexually frustrated Nina in their class? Like, come on. So anyway, because we're making booties, she gave out all the things and she's like, okay, just work out how to sew them. They're easy. Booties are easy to make. And I was like, okay. So they're like these little things that you kind of like wrap around like this, and it's just like a back. So it kind of looks like this, the booty. And you sew around it. Anyway, my booty was not sticking. And it just like, when I pinned it, it wasn't sticking. So I was just having an off day. And I was like to my friend Caitlin, can you please help me? Like, I don't really get how to stick it. And she goes, yeah, of course. My bitch ass teacher comes up and goes, are you that dumb to not know how to pin a booty together? And I looked at her and I was like, I'm not dumb, it's just not sticking. She goes, Nina, you're turning the most like simplest thing you can do in a textile classroom to one of the hardest things, like making a wedding dress. And I just stared at her and I was like, don't hurt me, like I'm having a bad day. So here is where she put me on edge for the first time of that lesson. And then she's like to my friend, Caitlin, do not help her. She needs to learn this on her own. Me being me was like, Caitlin, sweetheart. Like, just like goes into the desk with my little booty and will you please help me stick it together? I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, she helped me. She's such a sweetheart. Love her. Helped me with it. And then I went up to the sewing machine. I was like, I'm ready. I got this. Show that like poo face what she's missing out on, how great of a student I am, how much I know what I'm doing. Like, I got this. I started sewing and she comes up and she goes, that is the wrong stitch. Oh my god, how can you get the simplest of things wrong, Nina? And I'm like, waterworks, okay? My whole face, like, what used to be a dry desert turned to be like a fucking flood on my face. I was like, I'm out, I'm done with you, thanks, you pissed me off. And she's like, saying how dumb I am and stuff, and I was like, a teacher can't do that. You're supposed to be like, it's okay, this is how you do it if you're struggling, or honey, that's the wrong stitch, like, you just change it to the zigzag one. No, I got, how am I turning the most simplest thing into one of the hardest things in the world? Like, okay, maybe I wasn't meant for textiles, okay, just let me be. I start crying and she's like, honey, it's okay. And at that point I was like, she touches me. Every time I'd cry, she'd like touch me. So that was the second time she'd made me cry. Triggered to the max. Like, okay, now I did not like her. Like, I started to not respect her. She called me dumb. She made me feel dumb. Like, I felt very like disrespected at that point. Like, I'm one student. I'm paying you to be here, okay? Is it that hard? Like, I may be on my period now, but I was on my period then too, so like, I can complain. Then it came to another lesson. It was another food tech lesson, and we were actually cooking. We were making dishes for an assignment, and I was like, this is really fun. So I go in, I'm ready, I have all my ingredients ready. I was on a table with my friend and we were cooking together, basically secretly, like helping each other out in the assessment, like, this is what you do, this is what you do, hi. So there we are, doing our thing. Anyway, it came to washing up after our assignment, and I was like, I'm probably going to give her my assignment and she'll give me a lower mark than my friend, because like, even though we made it the exact same way, I knew she was going to be like, I'm just going to give her a lower mark because I know it's Nina's and I don't like Nina. Came to cleaning up and I was just washing dishes, washing. Next thing I see, she goes, Nina, come collect your bowl from the front. And I was like, that's not my bowl. So, not the plate that had the food on, but the bowls that we cook with. There was one, someone left a dirty one at the front, and she just assumed it was mine. I was like, Nina, come clean. I go, that's not my bowl. Firstly, I don't use those bowls because I know damn well that no one cleans those bowls, the metal ones, properly in our food tech room. No offense to people watching this from food tech, but I know we didn't really clean those bowls properly. So I wasn't going to go using it for my assignment, which I probably should have in case it like poisoned her, but I didn't. And I was like, that's not my bowl, I'm not cleaning it. And because I'm stubborn, bitch, like, when I need to be, I'm stubborn. And then she just looked at me in the eye and said, come here. So I went up to her and I was like, not gonna cry today. And she said, if you don't clean this bowl, I'm gonna give you a 0. And then I was like, I've had enough of her like little crap. So I was like, do you know how bad it looks on your behalf to give me a 0 because you just assumed that an unclean bowl was mine and that I didn't wash it up, so you're going to give me a 0? That looks bad on your behalf, not my behalf. Give me a 0, I don't care. I'm not keeping the subject next year, so give me a 0. And then she's all angry and she's like, okay, you want to play that game? And I'm like, you know what, I'll play the game. I was like in it to win it at this point. I was just done with her. She made me cry 2 other times. I wasn't willing to cry again. And she goes, I'm gonna call your mom. And I was like, please call my mom. My mom knows about the other times you've made me cry, okay? So call her, please. Like, I beg. My mom's on my side. Anyway, she ended up making someone else clean the bowl, and I walked out that room like, yeah, high-five me. High-fives all around. Like, my friends were like, Nina, that was cool. And I was like, I know. Like, guys, I stood up for myself for the first time ever. So at that point, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe she's going to respect me a bit more. Like, she won't piss me off or anything anymore. I thought I'd left my mark. But apparently not. Because there was a couple lessons going by here and there. You know, she didn't really disturb me. Till it came to something called a support doc checker. So that's in textiles. That's when you give in your documentation of how you're doing, like with your drawings of whatever you're making, and like just some like paragraphs written about what you make. So I accidentally forgot my couple sheets of my support documentation, and she was going around the class and she came up to me and she goes, where's your support doc? I was like, I accidentally left it on the printer, but I have this sheet. She goes, Nina, this is not good enough. And she just stared at me in the eyes, and I was like, oh, fucking Nina. And she's like, you know what? I've had enough of your attitude, Nina. I'm taking you and a detention slip to Mr. G, who's like who was the deputy head of the school at that time. And I was like, hello, messing with the wrong Nina. I stood up, I hit the desk, I was like, I've had enough. Like, you cannot treat me like this. So I stare at her in the eye and I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know if I'm getting abused, if I have depression, anxiety. You don't know anything about me. You don't know why I haven't been at school for these past days. You know nothing. How dare you have the guts to say, just because I forgot a couple of pieces of paper, didn't even ask to check my my laptop, which has it on there too. You just wanted to take me straight to the deputy principal and a detention slip to him to go, you don't even know what's going on in my life. How dare you? And I was just going down her throat. I was like, I've had enough of this. This is horrible. My friends are all staring at me as I'm like going down at her. I was like, you've made me cry multiple amounts of times. You're the reason for me being upset. I come to school every day and dread every class with you because you just make me so upset. More upset than I have been. How dare you? So I'm like at it. And the next thing I know, the bitch is like, and I was like, oh. I see water. I see a little tear coming, you know. And so she goes to my friend Hannah, can you please bring me a box of tissues? And I thought, because I just started crying, I was like, you don't know anything about me. How dare you be so rude to me? And then my friend Hannah puts down the tissue box and she grabs 2, thinking she'd give them to me. No, what does she go? Stands up, blows her nose, walks out the classroom. And she was crying. Then a couple of my friends were like clapping for me, and I was like, guys, stop. But I was actually so done. I was like, she deserved those tears. She'd never picked on anyone else but me. That was the first ever time I've really stood up like for myself from a teacher. Just couldn't do it anymore, and I had no fear. I was like, I hope she takes me to the principal now. I hope she calls my mom. I hope she calls my dad, because firstly, we're the ones paying her to be there. Secondly, what she was doing was way out of line, especially for a teacher. And that is why I wanted to tell you this story of the time I made my teacher cry, because it's like a little saying, stand up for yourself. No one should be making you cry. No one should be making you feel upset. You go to school every day to be educated and to be taught, not to be picked on and bullied by your teachers. So anyway, I really hoped you enjoyed this little video, even though it was kind of long, about me making my teacher cry. And just hence after that, she has like left me alone since then. And the reason why I made this recently is because I now see her around the school, and every time she sees me, she puts her head down and keeps walking, because we just don't get along on that level anymore, and that's absolutely fine. I'm so much happier without her bullying me and harassing me, and luckily I don't do any more subjects that have to do with her department, so it really works out. So it's just a message for you guys, like if your teacher's been horrible to you, please do something about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, I hope like at least one person watches this, like maybe my teacher, I don't know, just my thoughts. I'm kidding. But have a nice day, afternoon, morning, night. I don't know. See you guys.